Inside, in the warm light of contemporary domesticity, her roommate is talking long distance to the first boy she ever kissed. We can just make out the melody of her joy. We are laying in the room next door. There is not much more to the tableau than this. The screen in the window is frayed, the paint on the sill is peeling, crumbling the masonry. And it's late, and we have work tomorrow, and we are in our 20s, and we too are about to kiss. We are going to kiss one another for the first time. The arrangement of our faces and noses, whether there is a complete mutuality of the kiss, whether particles are trapped between our teeth, whether she will action pay me with lipstick, these are some of the variables of the instant. It seems easy enough to do, to kiss her, as I have kissed others, but even so, the implications of the practice expand around us, like the spirits of our unbaptized ancestors. There are legislative issues surrounding us, there are sociological and aesthetic issues, there are issues of fashion, and then there's this awkward personal stuff. During a period in which we are again briefly dating, she will ask me to teach her how to kiss. I'll spend a number of evenings with my mouth open trying to instruct and be kissed at the same time, my lips painfully chapped as a result. No, it's better if you move really slowly at first, slower even. Right, good. Initially, during these lessons, her tongue will just swab my lips, as if she's taking a tissue sample from me. But then she will learn to dart with it, to dart lustfully. It will be late on a Saturday night, when the meaning of lust will come to her. At the same time, a couple in the next apartment will be fucking. She will learn to kiss, and she will take lessons in kissing and put them to good use with someone else. The frayed screen in the window above where we are standing will be the weak link when her apartment, this very apartment, is robbed. By then, however, this woman I'm about to kiss will have moved elsewhere with her new girlfriend, her girl lover. A different tenant will have undergone the ritual initiation of looking at the space and signing the lease and repainting. This inhabitant will be different in every way, blonde and completely heterosexual, or so she will say, and successful, at least in the accumulation of things. A professional woman, a financial analyst downtown. One night while this analyst, Nina, is in a bar on the Upper East Side with a guy wearing a Jerry Garcia tie, a guy who mooses his hair and drives a Jeep Wrangler, her apartment, frayed screen and open window serving as the method of ingress, will be robbed. As Nina is about to kiss in the bar, her CD player, although not her Joan Armatrading and Sean Colvin albums, and her personal computer, but not her Quicken software and Microsoft Works, and her jewelry, but not her Vermont teddy bear, will all be carried out the front door of her apartment and sold on the street. Other people, with their own indelibly memorable tales of their first kisses, will enjoy these fine personal effects. The perpetrator of this felony will be Joe, who no longer makes love with his girlfriend, no longer disrobes in bed with her, no longer becomes aroused, no longer feels his high-pressure system of consolation, no longer recognizes that there's an equation in him that is balanced only by the pressure of the certain kind of companionship, but who can
recall a first kiss on a really dark night in the Bronx, when I was a little bit drunk, and she was too. It was so easy, like sliding the diamond stylus into the grooves of an old LP.
In this recess of semi-consciousness, this is the guy who will manhandle the dangerous cross-hatching of screen in the window of Nina's apartment. On the night in question, the window of the apartment will be open and an early autumn breeze will be blowing through it, and then Joe will empty out the premises. One of the couples passing the street that night. It's almost 1 in the morning and Joe is standing on the 16th Street prying up the frayed and unwinding grid of the screen, crowbarring the window grating, will be Eleanor and Max. They will be walking home from a dinner party arguing vehemently about whether to have children now or later. Joe won't notice Eleanor and Max coming up the block. Max would prefer to have children now, because his job is going badly. Eleanor totally disagrees. She will be holding his arm. They will proceed very slowly through the narrative of their argument and up the street, as if one of the burdens of the disagreement were sluggishness. And neither of them will know that they are each recollecting their first kiss, which took place in Baltimore 7 years ago. They were both students at Hopkins. A number of the carousers there became sick. One woman, Nina, visiting a frat boy for the weekend, had to have her stomach pumped. Eleanor and Max didn't get sick, however. They just kissed. It was a sloppy, sloppy kiss. It tasted like beer and pizza and cigarettes, and there were a platoon of wasted school chumps egging them on. But when they went through it, when Max let go of the back of her head, let go of the handful of her blonde hair, when their lips parted, when the music on the sound system unaccountably lapsed, they laughed. It was like being part of some larger migratory pattern, some history of lovers. They decided to go home with each other on the spot. They dropped everything, left behind their cronies, and stayed together after that. On the night of the robbery, Max will look up from the wow and flutter of this recollection, and from the cyclical and endless heart-to-heart about whether or not to have a baby, to see a pair of legs disappear into the ground floor window of the block.
I think that apartment is being robbed! Look at that! Really?
Other first kisses will be taking place at this very moment, at a phenomenal rate, all across the city. Ginny and Steve, Jared and Landon, Ramon and Samantha, Miles and Kay, Lola and Kim and Pete, Bernard and Elisheva, Elisa and Katie. The kisses on this day alone, if harnessed, could realize the citywide savings on the power grid. I'll be crossing 16th Street myself that night, the night of the robbery. While Joe is liberating the apartment of Nina's iPod and ugly Tiffany jewelry, I will be coming from the east side, while Max and Eleanor are coming from the west. I will be looking at my feet, dragging my heels disconsolately as I occasionally do on this block because I cannot pass that window without thinking about this woman. And I will see these black jeans and Converse All-Stars slipping in through the half-open window, the screen wrenched out of its frame. This will stop me, draw me up short, and I will simply stare. I will realize then that I will pass this window even in years which she is a part of my life and she lives elsewhere, and I will be sad on these occasions just as I am sad in the years when I am not involved with her. When I pass this spot, I will remember her, and I will be sad, and the only thing worse than that, the only thing sadder, will be when I forget, and I am sad for forgetting. Sadness will mark the period with her, and the period after, and the time in between, and it will mark, a little bit, my next first kiss, which will perhaps be with Eleanor, who is soon to be divorced. Before I go on to kiss others, and you do too, and perhaps in this way you and I have something close to a kiss, I have to kiss Susan, the woman to whom I have pledged myself for this brief instant, and so I do. I am close to her face now, and lacing my fingers around her back, the better to make the instant irrevocable, and then I am grazing her lips with mine, measuring their pitch and arc with force, and then we are falling into a lassitude of kisses where I am going to dwell. We are together. Everything, the job I'm going to lose, and her brother who is going to die, and the way she will leave me later, and the apartment that will be robbed, and the people spinning out around us, all this doesn't matter for the moment, and that's the way I prefer to remember it. Before our lips part, with her roommate cackling in the background on the phone with the boy who first made her dance. Her roommate dancing in that low wattage as she talks to him, that first boy, pressing the light-up buttons on the sentimental jukebox of human affiliations, singing, knowing, remembering.
Never felt like this until I kissed you. How did I exist until I kissed you? Never had you on my mind. Now you're there all the time. Never knew what I missed till I kissed you. I kissed you. Oh yeah, things have really changed since I kissed you. My life's not the same now that I kissed you.